Gravatt with Fish Head Videos again, and welcome back. And we've had a little bit of hard time, had a couple comments about people having a hard time accessing our site. So just remember that if you just use fishheadvideos.com through Google, it should come right up. And with YouTube, when you type in Fish Head Videos with YouTube, they automatically put spaces between the words, and then that's where our problem arises. So right under that, it'll say instead search for it, it'll say Fish Head Videos with no spaces. That's what you want. Additionally, you can just type in my name and it'll come right up too. So the first name is Wayne, W-A-Y-N-E. Last name is Gravatt, G-R-A-V-A-T-T. And you should have no problem. The fly we're going to do today is a stimulator, and there must be a million videos out there on the stimulator. My stimulator is different than any that you'll see. I've made some improvements to it. And with that, we'll get on with it. Okay, let's look at the materials today. This is one of the changes that you'll see, and it's made a difference, and I really like the look that it gives the fly. So we're going to use this orange polypropylene, moose hair, elk. The body material is also yellow polypropylene. Now you can dub this body. You don't have to use polypropylene yarn. Excuse me. You can use any kind of dubbing will work as long as it's a high floating type of a dubbing. This is basically just a light orange dub that will be the head, and the hackle on the fly today will be we got brown saddle and grizzly hackle. And the hook size we're going to tie today is 2X light wire dry fly hook. And you can tie this. I usually tie flies, stimulators in 14s to 6s. So with that, let's get started. Alrighty. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, just like with everything, we're going to get a nice thread base on the hook. Sometimes with these longer shank hooks like that, if you grab the body of the hook, you can prevent it from kind of wiggling all around on you, which is kind of a hassle. Okay, so this is one of the changes, and at the end of this fly, I want to show you the bottom of this fly. It's really got a nice profile. So we're going to come up about, that's about where we want your body. So we're right around half. So we're going to keep that right up on top, just like that. And you can use Antron here. Basically, we're just trying to get a tag in there that's going to kind of give it a hot spot. Okay. Now, this is one of the changes I made. I used to tie all of my stimulators with elk hair, as almost everyone else does. And I really like the looks that this moose gives it. I like the contrasting dark. And it just has a really nice, well, you'll see when we get it in. It has a nice appeal to it to me. Okay. Put that in there. Okay. Don't need that. Okay. Be a little on that. So we're going to set that in there. We want it to be about that length longer than that tag. So that's the length that we're going to go. So you're just going to grab it just like that, cut it back just a little longer, and tie that in exactly where that orange polypropylene ended. Nice. So set that right on top of the hook like that. Good. Okay. So now we're going to tie in that saddle hackle. Dull side up, dry fly side up. Okay. Set that right on top, just like that. Wrap back right to the start of the tail. Okay. And note right here how it's, when you tie that, obviously whenever you get to here, it's going to be thinner this is going to be smaller at this end than it is at this end. So I have just a little recessed part right there. So I'm just going to set that right in there to take up that difference. See in there? Okay. I'll bring that up. Okay, bring the thread back up. Now, either dub or wrap this body. And you'll see a lot of stimulators out there. You won't see any stimulators like mine. Most people tie them on terrestrial hooks. I prefer not. And then mine has a lot of differences. So it's a really good selling fly for me. So I want 4 wraps there. Space those out. Good. Just like that. Secure that. Okay. So now we're going to take this elk here. Notice that this isn't, I shot this elk maybe. I'm not sure. I buy hides from people, but at any rate, let's get us some elk. I'm pretty picky on the elk, different elk. I can tell that this elk is a younger elk and not an old bull, just on the texture of the hair. Got a little too much. So we're just going to pull a little out. Okay. And separate that under fur. Okay. Stick that in the stacker. Good. Okay. And if you have a few that you think you have too many, you can just pull out a few. That's about right there. All right. So we're just going to set that up there. You want it to come just about the length of the tail. Okay. So we're going to cut that tag off. And notice when I set that in there, that I'm giving myself some room at the head. And this is one of the big differences between my stimulators and a lot of people's, is that when I back wrap this, I put not a lot of thread pressure on it back here because it will flare the hair. Would be a little bit similar how a pitcher makes different pitches break differently, and it's with finger pressure. And this is with thread pressure. So I want that to set back on there, right over the shank of the hook, not flare out. I don't like that flared look. Okay, then we're going to take the saddle hackle, the grizzly, and we're going to set that in there. Just like that. And again, not a lot of thread pressure here. We don't want to flare that hair out. Okay. And you could use any kind of a dub here. And most of the stimulators I see do not have a dubbed head. They have thread heads, which I really don't like that look, but I think you'll like this better. Not only does it look better, it aids it in floating, just gives it a real nice profile in the water. Okay. Now, notice how I hold on to the hair, hold it back, and I'm actually going to bring the dubbing back just a little bit over the hair, just like that. And we're going to have to add a little bit more. And you can tie these stimulators in almost any color that you can think of, and they will all work. Okay, bring that back. Good, just like that. Okay, just wrap that forward. You can use hackle pliers here if you need them. I think I'm going to be long enough. So 3 wraps for that head. Perfect. tag there. Just hold that thread out of the way. Okay. And as I said, we're going to look at this when we get done, and I'll show you some of the differences. And then I got a couple of wild hairs there. We'll get rid of them. Okay. So there we go. There's the improved improved stimulator. Again, a nice profile. I want to show you what this bottom looks like. And it really gives it a nice contrast. So if you look at that bottom, and you can see how that that hot spot and that black tail give it a lot of contrast with the rest of that fly. So that's good. That's going to be a good fly for you. So make those subtle changes. I think you're going to like it. And better yet, I think the fish are going to like it. So again, thank you for viewing. We asked you to subscribe. You know, we got some more new flies coming out. We would love to have you. It's been a pleasure. And get out there and fish and give them hell.